break us down, searching for light when the world spins round. But in those cracks, the purpose is born, a new way to live when the old is torn. It's more than a story, it's the rise from the fall, a place where your purpose starts to call. With Dr. Stephenson, wisdom takes flight, turning your pain into hope, into light. Collide with purpose, embrace the change. Every story's got a fire in its flame. Tune in, listen, find your way to take life's hardest hits and turn the page. In the podcast, the truth is found. Collide with purpose, let love abound. From heartbreak to strength, the lessons unfold. It's about how we rise, not the stories we've told. Yes, with their journeys, sharing their light. In every collision, there's power in sight. It's more than a talk, it's the wisdom we gain. Through every struggle, through every pain. With conversations that open the door to purpose, the power, to so much more. Collide with purpose, embrace the change. Every story's got a fire in its flame. Tune in, listen, find your way to take life's hardest hits and turn the page. In the podcast, the truth is found. Collide with purpose, let love abound. So come as you are, with your scars and fears. This is the place where the truth appears. Turn your trials into stepping stones. Find the strength to claim your throne. Collide with purpose, embrace the change. Every story's got a fire in its flame. Tune in, listen, find your way to take life's hardest hits and turn the page. In the podcast, the truth is found. Collide with purpose, let love abound. A collision with purpose, your journey starts here. In every conversation, we'll wipe away fear. Find your purpose, let your life ignite. With Dr. Stephenson, you'll find your light.
Well, Elizabeth.
Yes.
All right, we're here. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to the A Collision with Purpose movement. You are watching life-changing conversations to inspire actions. Here we challenge you to reflect deeply and take bold steps towards transformation. I am your host, Dr. Laxley Stephenson. In each episode, we uncover the powerful life-defining moments that have shaped the lives of our guests. Ordinary people who have turned adversity into triumph. But this isn't just about their stories. It's about you, our audience. It is about your actions to ignite your purpose and create meaningful change in your life. Today, I am joined by a remarkable guest, Miss Elizabeth Sitawa Kisiangani, a mother, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a cancer fighter, and the visionary behind the Elizabeth Sitawa Cancer Community-Based Organization. Together, we will cut through the noise, tap into your potential, and inspire action. The time for change is now. So let's get started. Welcome to the show, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Doc. And how are you?
Man, I'm awesome. Awesome. So happy to have you on. You know,
Thank you.
last week we tried to get you on, but for a number of reasons, that was not possible. But there's no better time than now. No better time
Exactly.
than now. We have a lot to talk about today, Elizabeth. There's so much that is going on with you, and we want to just unwrap it in the best way we can. And we know there are so many people out there that need to hear what you have to say. They need to hear your story, not because it's your story, but because your story will have meaning, serious implications for their lives as well. So that is why we're going to have this conversation today. And let's begin, Elizabeth, by you sharing where you are right at this very moment.
Yes, my name is Elizabeth Sitawa Kisiangani. Currently, I'm in Kenya, in Trans Nzoia County. It's in the western part of Kenya, Trans Nzoia County, at a place that is called Cherangani constituency, Kesogon. Kesogon in Cherangani constituency, Trans Nzoia County. That is where I am currently seated.
Where you're currently coming from. You know, I am familiar with Kitale, having been there.
Mm,
So not familiar with the location where you're talking about, but I imagine
mm,
it's not that far from Kitale. Is that correct?
sure, exactly.
So Elizabeth, we're gonna talk about Elizabeth, the woman before cancer, her dreams, her ambitions, and just her aspirations. So
Sure.
share with us something about you growing up in your early life before cancer became a part of your story. Who was Elizabeth? And tell us a little bit about your early life.
Yes. So, Elizabeth Sitawa Kisiangani is a woman who was born by two parents who are currently also in Kitale. That is Mr. and Mrs. Kisiangani. They are also in Kitale, just my neighbors here. I was born in Kakamega, before we moved to Kitale, because that is the place where my parents were working by then. So I grew up my childhood life. I took most of it in Kakamega. That's where I went to school to, and I schooled from nursery school up to A levels. That's where I took where I stayed. I stayed where my parents were, and that is the place they were before. They now retired and came back to their home where they have bought their land. So most of my life I've spent in Kakamega. But currently, after they retired from active public service, they now settled in Kitale, and that's where we are. So
So
I grew up just like other children, uh, very much full of health. I was able to go to school. My parents always believed in education, and I cannot say there's any day that I had any challenge in the payment of school fees and so on. They always made sure that uh, I am in school, or we, all of us plus my siblings, were in school. Every time. I can't remember any day where we were told to go home because of school fees. There was no day. So my childhood life was very okay, uh, and that is how it was.
and that is it, how it was, as you say. So, as a young girl growing up, I'm sure you had dreams and aspirations. Can you share some of those with us as a young girl growing up?
Yeah. Up to now, my mother always knew that I was going to be a journalist. That's what was always in my mind. I really wanted to be a journalist while growing up. There was nothing else that was always on my mind. Every time, even at school, I was in the journalism club. I used to report up to college. When I joined college, in fact, I was the college editor. I was the editor in college. So I really wanted to be a journalist while I was growing up every time. And my favorite subject always was English. I was perfect in English. I used to write so well. In fact, I was always used as an example every time. Anytime we were told to write anything, I could do it perfectly well. And speaking, anytime I could speak so well, eloquently, and everybody was always happy with everything I was doing. So I really wanted to be a journalist as I was growing up. That's all I wanted every
Mhm.
time. Mhm.
And as it turned out, you did not become a journalist, but you became a teacher. And
Mhm.
what did you love most about the profession, teaching?
Uh, I remember, I vividly recall that time when this letter of admission to the teachers training college came. So there were some other letters that came. There was this TTC, the teachers training, and then I also had an admission to Kenyatta University. And by that time, I was just finishing my form 4. Um, we were four of us in the family. We were in high school. We're in high school, not four. We were five. Five of us were in high school, and then my father told me blankly that he won't be able to afford the university fees. So I just had to go to college, to go to the teachers training college because uh, and this university, the course I had been taken in was for journalism. But my father just told me that he couldn't afford. He couldn't afford to allow me to go for the degree, and yet I had other siblings who were in high school, and he was struggling. He couldn't make it. So I went. I went to college, but it was not an easy task just to accept that I'm going to be a teacher. I remember they had to bring some of my relatives to talk to me so that I can accept going to college. They got some relatives to talk to me just to cool down and go to college. So I just had to. I had to accept how things were, and I joined. I was at a college called Tambach Teachers Training College. It is in the it is in a place called Iten. I can't remember the name of the county. I can't remember the name of the county, but it's in Iten. It's a famous college because our second president was also a student there. Our second president, the late Mzee Moi, was also a student at Tambach Teachers College. So that's where I got my training as a teacher. And I actually can't regret being a teacher, Doc. I can't regret being a teacher, though I always want to still go up and up, but I always say there's always time for everything.
Yeah,
So I don't regret becoming a teacher because what I really wanted as a journalist, to some extent, I've also done it as a teacher.
right. So, of course, you're not teaching right now, but I want you to
Sure.
tell me, what is it about teaching that you love the most? What was it? From your experience teaching, what is it that you love the most about teaching?
Yes, I teach English, Doc. English is my favorite subject. It has always been my favorite, and just getting into the class and then helping this child to construct a sentence, a meaningful sentence, not just a sentence. You know, there are words in English you can put together, but making this learner just sitting down and write a sentence. This sentence makes sense, becomes sensible. And then after this sentence, the child is able to construct more sentences to make a paragraph. And then after the paragraph, it becomes a whole composition. You know, it's just makes me happy because just putting this knowledge in a kid, putting the knowledge, and then you are able to communicate very well with this child in English. And then you can also learn a lot about this child. You know, in teaching, we get so many learners from different areas. You get learners who cannot afford one or two. Just having these kids around has really helped me to learn about the backgrounds of different children and how to handle them. In fact, handling kids is a very complicated thing. You know, at times you can just get out of the house and you feel that you're not in your mood. Maybe you reach school and at times we use a cane. So just get a cane and hit this child. You don't know this child maybe has come late. You don't know why the child is late. So it has, this teaching has really helped me to know, to be able to sit down with a child, just ask this child, why are you late today? You see, the child will tell you, my mother is not there. I'm the one who woke up, made tea, ensured my younger siblings are okay so that we come. You know, it has really taught me to understand the children and also just embrace everything that the children will tell you. And you can also know these different backgrounds of the children, and then you know how to handle the children. I think teaching has really taught me just being patient
Okay, so
with everything.
patience is one of the things that you learn, and just how to value
Sure.
these young children. Of course, you are a single mother,
Hmm.
and that's another situation there. Raising children as a single mother is in itself by itself a challenge. What was that
Sure.
experience like for you before you were diagnosed with cancer? What was that experience like raising children as a single mother?
Yeah, raising children as a single mother can be very challenging. Can be very challenging, but I can say it is also deeply rewarding. As much as it's challenging, it's also very rewarding. You know, there are some very unique pressures, but for Elizabeth is really trying to thrive and just build a strong and a very loving family. In as much as I'm a single mother, child will wake up maybe. I won't talk about the experience as I fight cancer. So before then, just being, because this cancer thing just came even in my single motherhood. So even before, as much as it's a very challenging thing, it's also very rewarding. And so far, I can't complain. In as much as at times you'll need somebody by your side every time, but um, I can say I can now handle.
Hmm.
I can now handle everything single-handedly. Just I know there are some things a mother cannot do for a child. There's something that it's just supposed to be a father and the sort. But when the situation is as it is, you just have to make sure that you're going to do what you are supposed to do. So I'm really doing what I'm supposed to do as a single mother. So being a single mother really requires resilience. It requires resilience, it requires resourcefulness, and it requires a lot of love. And that's what I'm really trying to do, even in the current situation I'm in. Even before,
Right.
I've really tried to be that mother.
We're talking about before cancer, right? And
Yes.
focus on that. And tell me, what are some of you talk about resilience? What are some of the biggest challenges you face as a mother before, as a single mother, that is, before having to deal with this cancer thing? And this is important because I'm sure there are other people out there who are experiencing the same thing as single mothers. So share some of the challenges that you faced as a single mother.
Yeah. Being a single mother is not good, especially if that partner is not dead. The partner is there. Being a single mother is not good. And so far, so many friends of mine, even those I'm sure who are listening to me, I'm sure they know that I don't advocate for being a single mother. I actually don't advocate for it because I have been in that frying pan. I've been in that frying pan, and it is not one sweet song. Being a single mother, there are so many challenges that I've gone through. For example, uh, my child is in school, and everybody talks about daddy. Everybody talks about my father, this, my father, that, my father, this. My father paid school fees. My father bought for me this dress. And here is my girl. You know, girls are always favorites for fathers. So here is my girl. Just, she comes home in the evening and is like, Mom, where's my father? What do you tell such? Yeah, I think right now she's growing, but those days it was not an easy thing. She'll come and ask me, Mom, and at times she even cries. She used to cry, telling me, Mom, I want my father. So you even wonder uh, what you're going to answer. And then being a single mother is also not a very good. It hasn't been a walk in the park for me because here is a situation where you need somebody. You just need somebody there. Maybe you're busy doing something, and then you cannot handle some emotions. Maybe if you were two, somebody would just get into that and help out. So it it wasn't an easy thing just being a single mother as of the sort. And talking about resilience, that's what is really keeping me. But for my children, I think they have really undergone to accept that it's our mother who is there, and she's the one who is going to handle one or two. It wasn't an easy thing, though. According to me, uh, to me, uh, to me, my children up to now, they still don't know what really came in for for mom to be alone and for my father to be on the other side. They still I've still not told them what came up, so they actually don't know. They actually don't know anything. They're just very innocent. So I'm just bringing them up in that way, just the way they are,
So
just that. So they
so
just know. They just know that they have a father. They just know that life is going on just like that. So
so
it's not, yeah, it's
Elizabeth,
not an.
what I'm hearing
Yeah,
from you is that one of the challenge is just having to answer that question, where's my father? That's a big
very
challenge.
tough. It's
And
a tough one.
how you manage that is, I'm not sure how that is working, how they're receiving that, how they're receiving
Exactly.
it when they ask that question. And I'm sure that being single parent, there's that financial constraint as well that you face. Taking care of two kids by yourself is in itself, by itself, another challenge there. So,
Yeah, because everything is on you, from medical, and you know, my son had this medical condition where there is no week that he could not be at the hospital. So
mhm,
it's only me, and then I'm a single mother. I have my other child, so when I'm in the hospital, I have to get a friend to stay with my daughter. So it hasn't been an easy thing. Medical, financial, everything. Just
Right.
that social thing. Yeah.
I get that. I get that. But
Mm.
a point I want to make, and you can enlighten me in this, what I've seen from my limited exposure, my limited knowledge is there are so many single mothers in
Sure.
Kenya, and I'm sure there are so many. There are so many in Kitale where you live. What is
Sure.
attributing to that, or what's going on with that?
Mm. That's a tough one. I don't know. I really don't know, because it's really a thing. Nowadays we have so many single mothers in Kenya, in Kitale, in even the village I stay. We have so many of them. My neighbors, there are so many of them. There are so many things that come up. Somebody will say, "I ran away because of my peace. I needed peace." Somebody else will say, "No, no, no, I ran away because this man has no money." You see, everybody has their own stories. Everybody has their own version of why why they are single mothers. A lot of them, but we have a lot of them. For me, mine, I'll not talk about it so that everybody hears. I'll not say what transpired, but it's
We'll,
all
we'll,
about,
we'll keep something private, right? We'll keep
yes, Doc.
something private, yes, and I can appreciate that and respect that. But
Sure,
Elizabeth, you're widely known as the fighter, a fighter,
sure.
a cancer
Hmm.
fighter. Your journey battling cancer against all the odds. So I want to just go back to the moment when your life changed, when everything in your life changed. So can you take us back to that moment when you first heard the words, Elizabeth, you have cancer? How do you process that?
Let me hope I'll not be emotional here. You are here. You feel not very okay, Doc. And then you get, this last bit of the cancer. I've fought cancer 3 times. It has been a recurrence thing. So I started fighting as cervical cancer, and then I treated it twice before it came back as ovarian cancer. And this last bit that I got in 2023, March, I had gone for my a relative was having a wedding in Mombasa. So we went there because my boy was a page boy and my girl was a flower girl. So I had to take them there. So as we were going there, Mombasa is all about fun. After the wedding, we at least had some fun, but there was this very strange feeling that I was going through pain, and then there are so many other symptoms that I cannot just say them on camera. And I called, my gyna. I called her, Doctor. Do I remember even the name? I'll remember as I talk. So I called her, and I told her what I was feeling, and she told me, "And where are you? Can you just come to the hospital immediately?" Doc, I was not okay. I was not okay at all, at all. The symptoms were just weird. And I was asking myself, what is this? So I called, after I called her, she's Dr. Mishra. Yes, Dr. Mishra. So I called her, and we talked. We talked at length, and she told me, I just hope it is not what I'm suspecting. That's what she said, because she's been my doctor for the last 8 years. For the last 8 years, in fact, she's the one who took care of the very first time that the cancer came out positive. she's the one who handled. She's the one who has been to get another doctor. So after I called her and told her about it, she told me immediately you reach home. Yes, and I went.
Mhm.
Had a talk with her. I told her when the results come, tell me I'm already used to hardship. That's what I told her. Though in the heart I was burning. To some extent, though I suspected cancer was back, but I couldn't just talk about it. I couldn't tell my doctor about it. But the feeling that I had, I just knew something was not very, very okay. That's what I felt. So you have those hit me. That's Elizabeth, you you have cancer stage 3B. And I was being told one on one, no one, no relative, no friend with me. I was all alone being given that information. Devastating. Mm.
So we're having some technical issues and some glitching going on. But Elizabeth, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm getting
Can
you,
you?
Doc.
Yeah, we have some technical issues, but we'll work through them. So that was the third time that you discovered it,
Mm-hmm.
and I know there was a first time, which I'm sure there was some, things that you experienced with the first time as well when you first discovered that you had cancer. So, but what? And you talk about emotionally and yeah, I'm sure there are some financial challenges that you had to experience as well, and the physical challenges. But as a single mother, what was your greatest fear when you received that diagnosis, the first and the third time? What was your greatest fear when you received that diagnosis?
My greatest fear, Doc, was I'm going to die.
Mm,
That one I can just say it. Yeah, I just knew I'm going to die. That's what I knew, Doc.
mm.
I knew, Elizabeth, now you are going to die. That was all.
And that is the stigma as well in where you in Kenya,
Going
right?
to die. Yeah, I'm going
If you have cancer, you're going to die. That's what you're hearing all around you, and that's how people are seeing you. You know,
to die.
yeah, yeah. And imagine having those thoughts in your head and you're the mother of two children, and but you're solely responsible for taking care of financially, emotionally, and otherwise. So that must have been a big hit on you right there. So now,
Mm-hmm.
how are your children doing? How are they handling the situation with knowing that you have cancer? How are they handling it?
But my I don't, the problem is still,
Elizabeth, can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and then come back. And Elizabeth, I want you to just log off, then log back in. Okay, just go ahead and log off and then log back on. All right, and then we'll pick up from where we left off. We're going to take a quick break and come back. Okay,
Okay.
just log off and come back on.
Okay.
I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy
Doc.
kid. I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid.
I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection, and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me. I love God and I love my friends. Yeah, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth. Cause I know to whom I belong, I am bold for Christ. Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Loving others as He told me to pray for healing, miracles to see, knowing my identity in Christ, He is in me. I am a bold kid, He loves me, standing firm on His word, proclaiming everything I heard, not afraid because He is with me. Be bold. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth. Because I know to whom I belong, I am bold for Christ. Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. 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 I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection, and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to
I've
Life Conversations to Inspire Actions. My guest here tonight is tonight in Kenya, today in Atlanta, Georgia, is Elizabeth Sitawa Kisiangani. And we're having a conversation right now about, her first, how she received the word that she had cancer as a single parent, how that impacted her life, her children's life. So Elizabeth, welcome back. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Doc.
How are you feeling right now?
I don't know how to explain, Doc, but I'm not fine. I can just say it loudly. Elizabeth is not fine.
Elizabeth is not fine. But
yes,
I appreciate that you came on the show today, even though you're experiencing what you're experiencing. I know cancer impacted your ability to work and provide for your children. How are you dealing with that?
It hasn't been an easy thing, Doc, because I was a very active woman. I would not just be at school for my salary. I would do other things for myself. It was not all about salary. It was not all about salary because money is never enough after all. I used to have these small businesses here and there that I could do and get an extra shilling just to make my kids very comfortable now that I'm a single mother. So everything was affected. Everything, Doc. Everything was affected. Completely, I was put down. Cancer put me down. Yeah, cancer put me down. It really did. Completely, it just it stole everything that I had ever worked for.
Cancer stole everything that you have ever worked for. I know there were times that you had to make a choice, make a decision between taking care of your children with your limited financial resources and seeking medical treatment. And how did you do that? How would you know when it was the right thing to do? Because your children have needs, immediate needs, but you also needed medical care. So how was that? How did you deal with that?
I had to cut some things that we used to do. It went to the extent of even just making sure we don't eat what we used to eat. It affected from the food in the house. Like we had to stop getting milk. so that we get black tea. So that 10 shillings that we use for tea, we can put it for something else. So I really cut on the expenditure in the house. I just cut everything. I had to get a cheaper house. Uh, I had to stop buying stuff. There's a time you'll just pass by and see something very good and get it. So you go, you want to buy it, and then you remember you need some medication. You are supposed to travel to Eldoret to get that medication. So I just had to cut off so many things. At times the children will tell me, Mom, we want this and that. And I would just tell them that no, I don't have money. The good thing is I have very understanding kids. So I just had to tell them the truth. Just had to tell them. I think I'll also tell you how my children have taken it now that their mama is fighting cancer. Yeah, I just had to tell them the truth that there are so many things you're not now going to get because mama is sick and needs a lot of. And in fact, I could even at times take that money, the money spent in hospital, and I've just been given that the receipts after paying the money. So I show them, tell them, see, mom has used 180,000 for treatment. Mom has used 50,000, has used 5,000. So you can see you cannot have milk tea because of this and that. And they had to understand. So I really cut down on so many things, Doc, so that I can make ends meet.
So it's been sacrifices all around with you, with your children. And I know it must be, you've had to tell your children when they ask, where is my father? You've had to deal with that question. Now you're also dealing with, why can't I have these things that I used to have? And yeah, so they've played a major role in your journey here. And what's the most heartbreaking part of your cancer journey so far? What is that thing that you would say is most heartbreaking for you?
There are two things. There are two things, Doc. But the worst, one of them was seeing my children crying when I can't help myself.
Hmm.
Doc, my children have really cried. I can say it hasn't been easy for them. In fact, that is always the worst part of this fight. Just seeing my children sitting down and then looking at their mother. Their mother can't do anything. I can't even move to the washroom. And they have to wash my bedding. And I have these kids who would tell me, Mom, we are not going to allow your caregiver to wash this and that. No, we are your children. We are the ones who are going to wash. And you can imagine Vanessa gets a basin with water and wipes me. Those circumstances always come back flooding in my mind. Those memories, they're usually the worst bit of fighting cancer. I
Hmm.
still remember. I still remember, Doc. Still remember how my children have cried because of their mother. I've seen me puking, vomiting. My children have seen me not being able just to hold a spoon or even hold a cup and drink water. They have to give me the water. Doc, Doc, it's still devastating. It's still very hurting. It's still just, yeah, still hard. I still remember those days. And
Mhm. And your children they're in school right now. In fact, you saw them today. You saw them
yeah.
today. They're attending
Mm,
boarding school, which
mm,
I'm sure there's a bittersweet thing there, that they don't have to deal with it day to day. watching you go through what you go through. And but there's also the part of them not being there because they're your top supporter, right? They're there with you. So how do you deal with being alone? And while you're alone, what is it that keep you moving forward?
Um, being alone is not good, Doc. And this is one of those days, I've now made the pillow my partner. See, the pillow is the one. The pillow knows the tears that I shed every day. I always say, it's like I always wash my pillowcases every day because they're always full of tears, full of tears every time. And when the kids are away, when the kids are away, that's what it is. It's a hard thing, Doc. It's a
Mm,
hard thing because these kids are always there for me, especially emotionally. I can count, if I can count people who have been emotionally there, number one in the list up to 10 will be my children. I'll count my children 10 times before I get to any other person because these babies have been there for mama every time. So uh the body will always work on what the mind believes. So what does the mind, so at times you just cry because you're all alone. And
mm,
at times, my caregiver is deaf. So when the kids are there, you see, when my children are there, they'll always come to check on me. And then this is a person whom I'll always have to get her to show some sign to talk. And at times, with this situation, a person fighting cancer, at times you just want to be quiet. You don't
mm,
want to do anything, you don't want to talk, you don't want to see people, you don't want to do anything. So at times you just get frustrated. You are
mm,
really frustrated. You want something but you don't want to talk, you just want somebody to bring it for you. So you get, at times you get so frustrated that you just decide to go silent and keep quiet, and just do your thing, maybe just sleep. There's a time I stayed in the house 3 days without eating because I was mentally frustrated and I don't want to talk, and the person taking care of me cannot talk. I've had two came to take care of me, but they were not just up to what I expected, and I had to change. So this one works very, very well for me. But there are times when you just need to be silent. You just don't want anything, and you're all alone. My kids are the only ones who know what mama wants. They're
mm,
the only ones. They are.
mm.
They
Silence,
are.
silence, quietness is so important. And sometimes you just want to be by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
know, I've heard this so many times when a person is ill, sick, and people will say, I don't know what to say to them. I don't know what to say. How would you prefer people to approach you?
Doc, I've once told you that I always I don't want sympathy.
Mm,
I always want me to tell somebody about what I've fought. And you always read my stories on Facebook. I always just remember what has happened or what is happening and just put it down. And people are always encouraged by what I write. Now, I always don't want somebody to remind me that I'm fighting cancer.
mm,
I don't like it. And I always don't like it when somebody will get my child and start asking my child about me. So
mhm,
there's something I always want. I always want me to be the one telling you, Doc, um, you remember this cancer can do this and this to you, and don't come asking me, how did you get? It really irritates. How did you know? How? You know, it now makes you to go back and start explaining to this person, and those situations, the circumstances that led you to being diagnosed with cancer are never good. So you start explaining to this person, this is what was happening. I started feeling this, my stomach, my what and what, my what and what, you know. It's not good. And then you just get people, there's somebody who wanted me dead. The way she was talking about me was
Mm.
not just good, and the person is just a neighbor. So you can imagine meeting such a person. Now will you talk to such a person? So you even create enemies during your fight. So I always don't want somebody to come. I'm this person who talks a lot, but depends with the person. You can come and we just keep quiet. You can come and we give those cock and bull stories up and down. You can come and we talk about everything. You know me, Doc. We talk about everything. So I always just want to talk about everything away from cancer.
Everything,
Away from cancer.
everything away from cancer.
Sure.
And I'm sure when there's a need and you feel like you want to share, you will share it with those visiting you and those reaching out to you. Because I know you
Exactly.
appreciate everyone who's out there to support and just give you that helping, caring hands. So let's talk a little bit about community and support that you receive. You have received emotional, financial support from friends, and there are some people who really show up for you. And if show up for you where that is concerned, if you want to share and big up those people, you feel free to do so if you want to do that,
Mhm,
because they
mhm,
have played an important role in your
mhm.
fight against cancer.
Sure.
Mhm.
Mm, mm. So it hasn't been an easy thing, because I remember after diagnosis, I was so stressed that I went silent. I wasn't even, I couldn't talk to anybody, Doc. I couldn't. I went completely silent. I deactivated my Facebook account. A few people noticed it and tried to reach out. I told a few people about what I was going through, and others I couldn't. And immediately, people knew about what I was going through. The world exploded. The world exploded, Doc. Everybody wanted to see Elizabeth up and back. That's all that everybody wanted. The much I know, everybody wanted me up and about. So I left school. I left school. I haven't been at school. I've not yet reported at school. I miss school. The whole of last year I wasn't in school. In 2023 I was in and out, um, and people have really come out to help me. People posting my photos, people asking for help on my behalf, and just making sure that I have food, because sincerely speaking, Elizabeth is a teacher. Elizabeth gets salary, but this Elizabeth, that salary you're talking about, is not there, because she has secured the salary to get loans, so that the loans can help out in her journey for treatment. I have a medical cover, which I use, yes, but there are circumstances where you will have to carry your cash so that you get the medication, and also make sure that life is going on as it is. And Doc, I won't mince my words when I just say that I'm very grateful to friends who have really come out and helped me. We have WhatsApp groups that are there that will always stand up for me. Uh, I have friends, from politicians to mama mbogas to even students I taught. There are so many of them. Like Doc, I can give you this example. when that time when I really wanted to change my children's school. I wanted to to just move them because I couldn't afford the school fees at first. So I talked to a friend of mine. I'm sure she will listen to this later. Two of them. I talked to Gladys Makoha and Martha Mash. So I talked to them and just told them, no, it's too much. I won't be able to be affording 30,000 per month for my children, per term. That is for the girl, for the boy. That is 60,000 per term for every for them to go on with their education. I'll just take them to the school that I always go in. But they told me, no, we are not going to do now. We won't do it now. So they came together, formed a WhatsApp group. This WhatsApp group carries everybody, just carries. And these people, Doc, were out to help me. They just made sure my rent was paid by then. They made sure I have food. They came to visit me. They gave me company. The whole of Trans Nzoia County, in fact, everybody just wanted Elizabeth to be okay. We have that women's group that I'm a member, the Trans Nzoia women leaders. That's a group that is led by a good friend of mine called Elizabeth Chumba and Honorable Immaculate Shamala. Those people have really held me. They have, Doc. They have. And then in that group, we have my former member of parliament, that is Honorable Wesley. That man was sent from heaven for me. And then we also have an aspiring MP, was called Honorable Isaac Limo. I tell you, Doc, these two men could come together in the WhatsApp group and just bargain. They bargain. This one gets 500 shillings. The next one will get 550, like that. And money piles up. I never missed anything. So these two people, apart from their daily schedule, busy schedule, they made sure they have visited me one-on-one. Doc, getting a politician just coming to your house to come and see you as a sick person, that is a favor from God. And this one-on-one, I'll tell Honorable Wesley, you are an angel. I think I'll never forget this man. I'll never forget Honorable Isaac Limo. These two people made sure that the group is up and I just get school fees for my children. Told me we are not going to change the school. That's what they did. And also, everybody was in for me. Everybody, Doc. Look at my friend Divina. Divina, anytime I just tell Divina, I don't have food. I feel like eating this. Divina will go to Facebook, just post and tell people, just put that 10 shillings, that's 200 shillings, and anything. Just do that for her. And Divina can call me anytime just to know how I'm doing. Divina, we had never met, Doc. We had never met. I've met Divina in my cancer journey as I go to Nairobi for my treatment. This is a lady, we have been very close friends in the internet. We had never met one-on-one. And when somebody thinks that these are even sisters, they have been together for quite some time, but we had never met. But this cancer thing just strengthened our relationship. I've got a lot of friends. And then there's this angel. There's one angel that knew me through Divina. Divina posted, and then she knew me through Divina. Doc, I don't know her Facebook name. But we talk. And she always makes sure that I eat something, or she just talks to me every time. And then there's this other one in the US called Maureen Benjamin. And this lady is God sent. Just God sent. So many friends. And then to blanket everything, my children now were now assured of just being in school, no disturbance. Like when I was there today, I was very comfortable. Why? Because I actually have no debt. The kids are settled. The kids, in fact, I reached there and my girl was like, Mom, let me first talk to Dr. Laxley and then we talk. So we have now these two very, very amazing angels that God just dropped at the center of my existence. God gave me Dr. Laxley and Dr. Donna. And here they are. We are even talking now. Our relationship is now on a very, very firm and strong foundation. My children have been assured of being in school. You know, I remember telling you that the only thing that is really disturbing my head is how my children are going to get to school. And once that is done, I think I'll just focus on my healing. And God just spoke to you, and that is what happened to me. So,
Mm.
friends, forgive me because I cannot mention all of them. Friends have given me even clothes because doc cancer made me sell clothes. I sold clothes to get money to go to hospital. Doc, I sold my children's clothes. They come from school and tell me, Mom, where is this dress of mine? I sold it at 100 shillings. Why? Because I wanted to eat a piece of meat and I had no money. So I just have to get it. It has not been a walk in the park, Doc.
Mm.
uh, it has not been a walk in the park, but my friends have been there for me, and I actually have nothing to tell me. Even the cancer fighters, those we are fighting cancer with, in fact, they have been my strong pillar, like Luokido, Kevin. Kevin is an angel. I have Joy fighting breast cancer. I have Lucy. Lucy is fighting cervical cancer. Then we have Sylvia. Sylvia is also fighting breast cancer. I have Hazel from Mombasa fighting cancer. We are quite a number in that doc. Even when we come to Facebook and ask for help, when I get an extra 20 shillings, I'll always share with my fellow cancer fighters because I know where the shoe pinches. I
Mm.
really know how tough it is to be a cancer patient. I
Yeah,
really know. So
I like that
all
word.
friends.
You
Mm,
talk about where the shoe pinches. Just want to say one thing, Elizabeth. Clearly your community, politicians, friends, strangers, they have come to support you in a big,
mm,
big time way. You said something that God brought us to you.
mhm.
I believe God brought you to us
Thank you,
because through
Doc.
you, through you, we have found purpose.
Sure.
My question to you though is, I see
Mm.
that you're getting a lot of support, and you have named a number of cancer fighters. Are they getting the same kind of support that you're getting?
I won't say, Doc, for me, I always say that I got God's favor. I got God's favor, and then people had known me even before I started fighting cancer. They saw me as a very vibrant lady, a lady who would post. Everybody was always in love with my two babies. So anytime I posted those days, every time I posted, I was full of health. I was this big lady. And anytime we were out, we would take photos and I just post them. And everybody would say, You have lovely babies. And when cancer struck, everybody would just say, just heal this mama for the sake of the children. Every time. In fact, that's what people still talk up to now. So I always look at it as in these two children of mine are the ones who gave me that favor that I get from other people for help. Because, Doc, I can tell you, the favor of God just descended on me anytime I ask for help. There's a time I wanted to sell my television, and it was news just went went the spread like a burning bush. Everybody was like, now what will the children watch? There's a time I couldn't do anything. The hospital down here wanted around 15,000. I pay. So everybody came out. I got even an extra amount that helped me for a very, very long time. So I always say that I am a fighter like the others, but I always say that I got more favor from God because I actually don't beg a lot. I just sit here, and then you get somebody just from nowhere sending you 100 shillings to help you somewhere and just tells you, just buy a fruit and the sort. So it's God's favor, Doc. Not everybody gets the help I get. Not
God,
everybody.
God's favor indeed. But one thing I've noticed about you, you share that favor with others, and you're
Mhm.
very good at doing that. About a year ago, we had a conversation. You, me, we had a conversation, and you said you wanted to do something on a broader scale where cancer is concerned. You said, I remember you saying, Doc, I want to make a difference. It's-
Mm.
yes, I'm fighting cancer, but I have to do more, And hence the birth of the Elizabeth Sitawa Cancer Community Based Organization. And it's all about you wanting to turn your pain into purpose.
Sure.
You turn
Mm.
your pain into purpose. So,
Mm.
despite your personal struggles, you consistently choose to help others. Now, what inspired you to start the Elizabeth Sitawa Cancer Community Based Organization? What inspired you to start that?
And I think this idea of the organization I remember sharing with you, and you were the very, very first person that knew about it. And it had died down. I think when I celebrate the birth of this organization, I think you are the you are you will always be at the top, because you really made it happen. You really made it happen. You really pushed through so that it comes into being. Were it not for you, I would still be talking about it. So, Doc, I am a cancer fighter, and it hasn't been a walk. It hasn't, let me not use a walk in the park. It hasn't been one sweet song, because the stigma that cancer patients go through, personally, the stigma I have gone through is not something even to talk publicly. I think people will just one day read when my book is out. They'll read about it. There's a lot to put in the book, not just to talk. So I remember how quite a number of people, stigma starts with yourself.
Mm.
Stigmatization starts within you, because I'll get out of the house, I'm not confident. I'll just go out, and then I am walking. Somebody looks at me. Yes, I know this person is looking at me, but I'll not, in my mind, all I'll say is, this person is looking at me because I have cancer, or I don't have hair, or anything like that. It's already stigma in me. You just feel it that somebody is looking at you, or something like that, and maybe just this person is on his own. So the stigma part really made me think of starting an organization that is just going to tell people that having cancer is not the end of the world. Because the very first time, the third time that the doctor told me you still have cancer, all I thought was Elizabeth is going to die. Elizabeth is no more. That's all I thought. I remember telling my sister Mercy that I know I'm not going to live. And this is what you're going to do. Just make sure my children are in school. I was even torn between who is going to be my next of kin. It's really tore me. I think I'll give you information about that next of kin doc out of camera. It wasn't a very good thing for me getting my next of kin. I really thought about this thing because I knew I am going to die.
Mm.
And what I really wanted in this organization is just to uproot that very stubborn root of stigmatization in the society. I tell you, whatever we are going through, whatever I always read from cancer patients, the way these people talk about. There's one who was telling me the other day that somebody just, a small child, so an old lady who is fighting breast cancer, and a small child just told her off and stop in Swahili, but the way she put it, stop looking at me. You want to give me your cancer. Do you want me to to have your cancer? Your cancer, when somebody tells you you are cancer, do we own cancer? I don't own cancer, so you're not supposed to tell me you are cancer. So this stigma thing, because I've already gone through it, I know how bad it is. Stigmatization, because I got it even from my family. This stigma. That's why I had to go silent. I even took a very long time to now get very close to my family members, family, both nuclear and extended. I really took time before I got into that because I just felt something. It wasn't a good thing, but the stigma for cancer patients is rampant, and we really have to uproot that thing. And that's what our organization is going to do. We are going to make sure that we talk to people and we follow up these cancer patients and just know if they're taking medication and if they're following what the doctor is telling them so that they can beat cancer, because cancer is not all about the hospital. Cancer, it's only 25% that will be the hospital thing, but 75% is all about your attitude. If you are ready to fight, you are going to make it. But if you're not ready, you go to the hospital, you will die.
Mm.
So we really want to talk to these people, both caregivers, the fighters, the thrivers, and everybody else, because we don't know about tomorrow. You don't know how. You don't know when it can strike. We don't know. So we are just supposed to be informed, and we are supposed to know that any person who is fighting cancer is not just going to die. This person will fight like the way Elizabeth is doing, and the person is going to beat cancer. So the main thing about the organization is all about uprooting stigma. And then also in this organization, I really want us to make sure that these cancer fighters have a medical cover, however small, however little it's going to help. But this medical cover will really help out. We have cancer patients who have never gone to the hospital. I know of one who just died of breast cancer, a very close friend of mine, before cancer descended on me. She died of it. We went and buried her, and it still pains me up to now because she never went to the hospital at all.
Mm.
She
Not-
never went to the hospital and she died.
no care, no medical care at all, and
Exactly.
she died. So Elizabeth, I know
Hmm.
Dr. Donna Thompson is watching, and I know she's playing a big role, an instrumental role in the foundation. She's one of the patrons. What do you want to say to her? Do you want to say she's watching? Do you want to say anything to her?
Dr. Donna Elizabeth loves you. Dr. Donna, I love you very, very much. And thank you for being a sister to me. Thank you, Donna. And words can never be enough. Words can never be enough. Getting that time for me, always, anytime. Just going, anytime I tell you I'm not okay, you always wear that shoe and make sure that everything is going on well. Donna, Donna, I just thank God that I found you. You are God sent. You are an angel to me and my children, and we love you very much. All I pray for you is that God may give you that strength, and you should be very strong because on the 6th, as you travel to Kenya, the hug you'll receive from me is not just a hug. I think it will be an award-winning hug. So you can imagine how tight it's going to be. I'm really waiting for you, my dear. Really waiting for
Don't
you.
squeeze her too hard now. Don't.
Donna, I love you. Donna, you're just nice. You're just nice. Donna, I love you. How do
Mm.
they do? Yes, Donna, lots of love from Kenya.
We're having life-changing conversations to inspire action. My guest is Elizabeth Sitawa Kisiangani, and we're talking about the foundation, the CBO. And Elizabeth, our the chairman, and I say our because I am a member, of the organization. So we have our chairman on, and he wrote the Honorable Lenny Kasaya. He wrote quite an inspirational and encouraging conversation. He texted me that sorry he joined late, but we're going to have a conversation with the chairman. Maybe not next week, but the following week we're going to bring him on because we're going to talk more about the CBO because it's all about the CBO. And we thanks Rosemary. She said, "God bless you, Elizabeth." We have Lisa Richmond. We said we thank God for you. Elizabeth, Pastor Seyful Bryson, he came on and he had some comments. He said, "Unique and bold lady, always admire your boldness and how you conquer and fight cancer disease." Yes, we have Lisa again saying, "Yes, it is especially so when you have a child with special needs." So the list go on and on and on and on, Elizabeth. People are out there. They've admired you. They see the fight that you put on and they understand. I don't know if they really, unless you're going through what you're going through, it's hard to know and understand.
Sure.
But
That's
one thing is for certain, they're there with you. They're there with you. But, you
thank
know, any organization to run it effectively requires what we call money. So,
Mhm.
how can individuals in Kenya, other parts of Africa, in the United States, and other parts outside of the Africa and outside of the United States join the CBO? Because it's all about money. We need money to fight stigma, cancer stigma. We need money to support the children of cancer fighters. It's not going to happen without money. It's not. So
Mhm.
how can anyone who would like to join this movement? Because
Sure.
I call it a movement.
Mhm. Mhm. The organization is really on. It's really on, and we are ready. We are ready with everything. All the paperwork is ready. We have our account, the cooperative bank account. Sorry, I don't know it offhand, but I'll make a good post about it. We also have the pay bill. under the Elizabeth Sitawa Cancer Based Organization. We have it. Everything is very, very official. We have the chairman, we have the secretary, we have the treasurer, the members, the sponsors, the patrons. The organization is really okay, and we really want members. We want members from all over the world, because this movement will not come into being if we don't have money. It's all about money. So we really need money for the organization, and that's why we have the pay bill and the account number, which I'll give out. Pardon me, because I can just know it very well, but because of the chemo brain, it takes away we have very poor memory. So we have our pay bill, and we also have our account number. For the people in the diaspora, like my good friend Dr. Laxley, we also have a way in which you can contribute to the organization. But we really want you to come through for us, so that we can go for some events. We have scheduled some events that we are going to carry out. Just going to get some cancer fighters, talking to them, everything. It's all about money. So we are going to give out our account number and also our pay bill number. And if you are going to be a member, now, my friends, I want you to join this organization and then just become a lifetime member, in that every month you can just you can sacrifice a certain amount of money for the organization. But the least we would like is 500 shillings. So if you can sacrifice that every month, I'm going to be giving 500 shillings to this organization. We are forming a group. I'll do it tomorrow. We are forming a group, and after I put my posts, I'll ask you to just inbox me if you really wish to be one of the members, and then I'll add you to the group, so that you send money not to my number. If you send to my number, just tell me, I would like you to buy fruits. That's okay. But if it's meant for the organization, that one, we are just going to have a WhatsApp group where we shall be talking and discussing issues there. And then we do our activities, because like this January, it was the month of cervical cancer awareness. I don't know if you're a lady, you've ever gone for that. You're supposed to do it. So such like awareness, we are also going to carry out, because I already have a good group of medical personnel who are ready to really help out in everything. So I really want you, I'm kindly asking you to join, to just talk to me, and so that I can put you in that group. And then each month, like this January, we are supposed to at least put something in the kitty, so that by the time we get something, we have an activity that we are going to do. In fact, when Dr. Laxley and the crew arrive in Kenya, we also have an activity that we are going to do in the name of the cancer fighters. So we really want as many as we can members in the organization, so that we can boost this and just uproot the stigma that is there in the whole world about cancer. We want to make the Elizabeth Sitawa CBO a big thing in the whole of Africa and even the world.
In the whole of Africa and indeed the world. So, Elizabeth, just to add to what you're saying about the membership dues or fees, it's a monthly thing. If you become a member, then it's 500 shillings minimum per month. And just to do a quick, computation here, that is approximately $3.90 at the current exchange rate. So if you are in the United States, Jamaica, England, wherever you are, and you want to become a member, it's the approximate cost to become a member is $4, $4 per month to become a member. So we're not asking you to give what you don't have. We're not asking to give what you don't have, just to step up, step forward, and to act for betterment, act for change. Become become the change that you would like to see. Because cancer is a problem not just in Kenya, it's a problem everywhere.
Sure.
Most of us, we have experienced loss caused by cancer. Most of us, I myself, I lost my mother and important people in my life. So we have all experienced loss caused by cancer. So should we all play a part, a role? I know I will. And I would like anyone out there listening to this show today to consider just stepping forward. $4, $4 is all we ask you to do per month. And if you want to pay a whole year's worth, you can certainly do that. Pay it all in one. But to become a member, that's the requirement, financial requirement. No, you don't have to be a member. You can also make a donation in whatever amount you want to make your donation. So that option is available to you as well. As this seed will continue to grow and grow, it will. It's going to grow, growing, it's growing. The numbers are going to climb. We're going to have so many people in there. And the idea of wanting to have like-minded individuals on board is because of the workload. Because we will be providing information. We will be having, attending to cancer patients and their children wherever they are. So our reach need to be so wide, and to be that wide, we'll need members on board to do the work. And that's one of the reasons why we're encouraging you to become members, so we can spread the workload. Because one or two or three cannot do the work. So big is the mission. So big is the vision behind the Elizabeth Sitawa Cancer Community-Based Organization. We need the support from across all continents, for that matter. Cancer is a worldwide, it's a global problem. So Elizabeth, we're running out of time. We're running out of time. We can't stay on here forever. We cannot. A lot. Now, what else would you like to share with us before we go? This is the opportunity for you to do so. Speak to
We're
us.
almost through, and I thought we are just starting. The talk is very enjoyable.
You are having too much fun. You're having too much fun. We got to get out of here. We cannot stay here forever.
So, in this cancer fight, doc, there's something that I've really learned. I've learned to be able to fortify my mind. I'm able to fortify my mind, and I've just learned to that art of disputing negativity in my mind. So anything negative, I just brush it off. If it means just talking it loud, I'll do it. And you always know it, Doc. At times I even just call you and talk while crying, such things. That's how I always just want this negativity thing. I may not be positive every time, yes. And people will always think, Sitawa, they always tell you, Sitawa, you are very, very strong. You are very strong. But the truth of the matter is, let me just tell everybody that Sitawa is not strong at all. But this Sitawa is full of resilience. Very resilient and full of fragility. That is what is really keeping me. And that is what I always tell people, because I always fall. At times I fall, at times I cry, but I always wake up And anytime this Elizabeth who has fallen wakes up, she always wakes up better than that person who had fallen down. So every time I fall, I wake up better, and that is just me. And just because I have cancer, it doesn't mean that I'm going to die. I'm not going to die anytime soon, because most people equate cancer to death. But I always assure myself that I am going to be a testimony to other people. People will look at Elizabeth and say, that Elizabeth fought and she was able to come out. So I'll also do it. So always work with your body, any person. It's not just about fighting cancer. Yes, fighting cancer really needs a lot of positivity, but it is not about fighting cancer alone. Even you as an individual, just always be positive in everything that you do. From this word cancer, there is the word can. CER comes later, but can, according to English, shows that there is a possibility. Yes, we can. So cancer cannot kill you. You are going to make it happen. So anytime you sit down, anytime, just give thanks to God and tell God, I am grateful because you've put me through this and this, and I'm doing well. And that's what I always tell God. I just remember the times that I've been down, the times that I've been crying, but you've always come through in a mighty way. So I always tell God, thank you. I'll never forget what you're doing to me. So let's learn to be positive. Let's learn to be hopeful. Let's learn to be resilient, and let's be full of vigility, because all that will always bring a positive impact in our lives. So you don't really have to die from cancer, do you? You don't. There are so many other causes of death. Cancer is one of them, but you don't have to die because of cancer, because cancer is not a death sentence.
Cancer is not a death sentence, and you heard it here from Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I've had the benefit of, over the past year, having a front row seat during your journey, during your fight
Mm,
with cancer. And we have
mm,
had many conversations talking about positivity,
mm,
positivity, positivity.
mm,
And
mm.
often you will say that those conversations kept you going. But I want to
Sure.
also share with you that your positivity is keeping a lot of people out there going.
Thank
Not just people fighting cancer, but
mm,
your story is a source of support for people, with other illnesses, people without illnesses, people who are struggling from, whether it is emotional, physical, whatever ailments they have, mental. Your story is
sure.
not just about cancer. It's
Mm,
about humanity. It's about life. It's
mm,
about resilience, courage. And
mm,
you have shown a will to live, but not just to
mm,
live, but to do meaningful things as you're living.
mm,
Because many people out there who are totally healthy are just sitting on the, and you know what? Not doing
sure.
anything.
Mm,
You've made a decision that your life is not about sitting on that, you know what, right? You know what I'm
mm,
talking about. It's about
yeah.
getting up, standing up, and doing the work that you're called to do. It's about
Mm,
living your purpose in a
mm,
full way. And Elizabeth,
mm,
you are doing that. You have done that. We're
mm,
looking forward to coming to Kenya in June of this year. We're looking forward to coming to Kenya. We're looking forward to continuing the work with you in person. In person. You know, the A Collision with Purpose team will be there. We'll be bringing what 12 of us are coming, and we're coming there to continue the work. All right, that you have started there. So I just want to say to you, let me read a couple more comments before I say it. We have my good friend Caricia Brown. She said, yes, she is a strong person. And, you know, actually my sister is on there, Paulette Thompson, say, Elizabeth, God's continued blessings. So there's so many people who are out there who are with you. And interestingly, people, you know, we're talking about people from all over the world who are with you.
Sure.
So you're moving mountains.
Mm-hmm.
You are. Your work, you're building a legacy that will serve so many more. They will serve people you don't even know.
In fact, I always say that I always tell myself, Sitawa, you have been assigned this mountain of cancer so that you can show others that yes, it can be moved.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It can be moved.
I think that's a good place to leave it today. I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined us today on Life-Changing Conversations to Inspire Actions. Thanks for joining us. We know you have a busy life. You didn't have to, but really and truly appreciate you taking time out to join and this conversation. And for me, it's been a conversation that is inspiring action in me, and I hope it will also inspire actions within you as well. My friend, Mrs. Hibbert just jumped on. She says, super strong woman. Her dreams become realities. My brother Martin just jumped on. He said, Elizabeth, you are a champion. So we're going to leave it at Elizabeth, you are a champion. We got to get out of here. We can't stay on forever. So again, Rosemary jumped in. Amazing interview. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Rosemary. Rosemary is a supporter of yours as well, and you know that.
Well, sure. Thank you so much, Rosemary. Thank you. Looking forward to June. Let me hope you will be in Kenya also.
Yeah, so we don't want to continue singling people out because there are so many supporters who are not on tonight, but they are supporters, and I know they will jump in and do what is necessary. Because this is not about you. This is not about you, and you've never made it about you. It's about everybody else.
It's about everybody.
Absolutely. So, what we got to get going. We got to jump out of here. So, until next time on Life-Changing Conversations to Inspire Actions, we're going to go. So, you all have a wonderful, wonderful week, weekend, and life. All right. Blessings always.
I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid, I'm a boy kid. I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection, and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me. I love God and I love my friends. I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid. I'm a boy kid. I put on my armor and I read His word. Blessing come out of my mouth, 'cause I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ.